My name's Kaliya, and my question is that evidence is overwhelmingly pointed to sick and disabled people being the hardest hit by the cuts. But this issue has been airbrushed almost entirely from conference. Are you reluctant to use the word disabled because the public have been so effectively convinced that we're all scroungers and that Labour Party are not willing to challenge that stereotype on our behalf?
Okay. Really good questions. Let me deal with our friend who asked about disability and ill health, because it's an important, Harriet, because it's an important. Sorry? I'm sorry. Look. Disability. I'm absolutely not afraid to use the word disability, and I am determined to say that disabled people need support and help and compassion, and that's why I want to protect the welfare state. And you've got to separate out ill health and disability from worklessness and the decision not to work. And I know about the concerns about the tests that are being done by Atos Origin. I know about those concerns. It's something that Liam Byrne and I have talked about. And it's not that I'm trying to sweep it under the carpet. At the same time, Harriet, I have to say to you, and it's the people from my own constituency in Doncaster North who make this clear to me more loudly and clearly than any other, than anyone else. They say, look, unless you address the issue of people who could work but don't, I'm not talking about disabled people. Right. So what you say, and I think you're right, is...
Of having met a man on incapacity benefit who you said could work if he just tried harder. You're reinforcing the destructive rhetoric that is coming from the coalition government at a time where sick and disabled people desperately need a champion to stand up for us. And had you been putting out the message that you've just given here about separating out sickness and disability from employment, we'd have been cheering you months ago.
I know, but Harriet, okay, that's important what you just said, but let me pick you up on this point about the chap I met. I don't want to particularly go into the detail, but let me just be honest with you, because it was a door I knocked on, and I have to give you my impression, which is that he was somebody who had lost his job, I think, 10 years ago, right? And I'm not questioning the fact that he was genuinely had an ailment. I'm not going to go into the details of that. But I just have to say to you that the system didn't sort of demand that he go back to work. The system sort of wrote him off. And the system sort of said, well, look, he had incapacity, he couldn't work for a bit, and that's it. And the problem is, I met his next door neighbours. I mean, genuinely, this is a story. I met his next door neighbours, and they didn't actually refer to him, but they said, look, our problem is we're working incredibly hard, and we're worried we're paying for people who can't work. So, I mean, look, I think I take your point that I didn't say in the speech yesterday, and I should have said it, a fair point, that you've got to defend people who are with disability, ill health, and say that they shouldn't be under attack. But let me say this to you, and I do say that often, but let me just say this to you, that I genuinely don't think that saying you're tough on abuse of the benefit system is a non-Labour thing to do. I think it is fundamentally a Labour thing to do.